Hey, g'day guys, this is AussieStig. Today we're taking a look at this cool one-off British Racing Green Playseat Sensation Pro simulator. Okay guys, so after that little intro, let's check out the differences between the 2015 model here in the studio and the 2020 model. Here's what's changed since 2015. Probably one of the two biggest differences on the 2020 Playseat Sensation Pro. The shifter mount has been redesigned and it supports all the major manufacturers' shifters and handbrakes and offers a lot more flexibility to the sim racer, either left or right hand side of the rig. The new shift mount's bolted to the frame alongside the seat, then extends up to the wheel deck section where it's also bolted to the frame. If we take a closer look at the shifter mount, Playseat produces a metal plate which has a lot of pre-drilled patterns in it for differing manufacturers' peripherals. The actual plate itself then fits snugly in between the two horizontal bars on the shifter mount, which has 10 centimeters or 4 inches of longitudinal adjustment. That would be the max. The shifter mounting plates are clamped together, so the top section rests on top of the shifter mount frame itself, and then the under section is bolted onto that. And in between those two pieces of metal, a thick rubber gasket, which protects the frame obviously from any damage when either moving or clamping the shifter plate to the shifter mount. Again, another good piece of design work from Playseat. They obviously thought long and hard about how to mount the maximum amount of peripherals with the least amount of fuss. With the Thrustmaster TH8, with one bolt I was able to securely hard mount the TH8 shifter to the smaller of the mounting plates, and then it's a simple matter of loosening the 4 screws on top of the Thrustmaster shifter and then rotating the H pattern until it lined up again with my seating position. You can also fit the TSS handbrake / sequential shifter easily to this mounting plate, and as I said previously, you could have two if you like. So when you're hopping into a left-hand drive or a right-hand drive car, you've got your gear already set up, no need to swap things around. And with the Hosenfeld sequential shifter, I did have to drill one extra hole to get it to line up with the OEM holes on the HE shifter itself. I used the smaller of the mounting plates and was able to secure the Hosenfeld sequential shifter. The second of the two biggest changes is definitely the pedal deck. Playseat has completely redesigned how the pedal deck works. It accepts quite a few different OEM and artisan pedal sets now, and the biggest difference for me is that you can adjust the height of the pedals, and you can also mount the pedal deck plate horizontally. You can see on the front section of the Sensation Pro, there's a new metal plate placed in between the tubular steel, and that plate has slots cut out at different radiuses, so it lines up with the 3 bolt holes at the front, and then you can basically pivot the rear part of the pedal deck and effectively give it an angle that suits your taste. My personal taste is to have the pedals higher off the floor. I've got it at the maximum height at the moment, and with the extensions in the Meca Cup 1s, it's slightly higher again. Sitting in the cockpit with your heels up high like that and your leg almost straight gives you a great sense of sitting in a real cockpit, especially in VR. Another difference is the wheel deck, very similar to the 2015 model. There are a couple of small improvements. The actual arms where the wheel deck's mounted to have been extended to give a little bit more adjustability. The rake adjustment mechanism's been slightly altered, but it's just a matter of pulling the handle towards you and allowing the gas strut to lower or raise the wheel to your preference. Another improvement, the seat sliders actually don't have any gradations to them. There's no notches like on a normal car seat. These have clamping blocks on cylindrical bars. Seat, you can adjust it to any position from maximum to minimum and stop it anywhere in between and it'll lock. Alright, down to business guys, let's see what it's like to drive. As I mentioned earlier, I have the Sensation Pro set up for a GT seating position with the Meca Cup 1 pedals attached to the pedal deck and my heels higher off the floor. Gives me a super comfortable position with the way the seat's been reclined, and regardless of if I'm using the H pattern shifter or a sequential shifter, the seating position is extremely comfortable. I feel relaxed while I'm sitting in it. There's no back pain from sitting in the seat for a long time. Everything's really right where it should be. Yeah, deja vu. 2015, I thought it was a great rig and the best GT seating position of any simulator out there, and I haven't changed my mind. In fact, it's been reinforced. Playseat's been able to refine what was already a very good simulator. Design-wise, they haven't strayed from the original, which is good. With these relatively minor improvements in terms of aesthetics, they've increased the flexibility tenfold. They have made the Playseat Sensation Pro a more accessible simulator, and definitely something that stands out from all the 80/20 aluminium rigs you see nowadays. Sure, they're nice and flexible and you can bolt anything you like to them. Visually speaking, the Playseat wins it for me in terms of design and style, and also the sense of sitting in the cockpit with the new shifter mounts on either side. It really gives that feeling of being cocooned almost in a cockpit. That really adds a lot to the experience of sim racing. That sense of immersion is something that really drives me when I look at differing rigs, or when I'm sitting in different simulators. I always like to sit there and study how they've designed it and constructed the rig itself, and you can see a lot of thoughtfulness has gone into these consequent upgrades of just refined that idea even more. It still remains one of my favourite rigs. As far as pricing and availability goes, I would refer you all to Playseat themselves. If you're interested in the shifter mount or maybe even a colour, you can get in touch with Playseat and just tell them AussieStig sent you. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. It was great fun to make it, and keep watching right to the end because there's a little surprise, and that will be coming very, very soon. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned for more to come from AussieStig.